Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are. So today let's just start by looking at the markets, see what's happening. Still very bearish, as you can see here from the token metrics TM grade. Still no change. Markets, well, it's picking up a little bit, but overall sentiment, very bearish market. As you can see, the bears in full control, just 7%. The breakout strategy, definitely not bullish. Low frequency trading, definitely not bullish. If we can look at the crypto market, we have the altcoins at 569 billion with 403 billion BTC blockchain. But the great thing is the market cap, the total crypto market cap. See that there? That's now hit $1 trillion. So last time we looked at this, we had dropped below $1 trillion, and now we're back at $8 trillion. So that's good news. 25 volumes of 73 billion. Bitcoin dominance 40%, and Ethereum at 14.8. So we've had a slight uptick, but at the moment still very bearish, as you can see on the TM grade signal. With regards to the live trading at the moment, as you can see, a lot of places, it's kind of a mixture. You've got some greens and you've got reds, but I'd say the reds take it. On the hour, the reds taking it, but generally on the 7-day, the graphs are very green on 7 days, but on the 1 hour change, it's all going red. 24 hours and 7 days, it's pretty green. So it's a mixed picture there, very mixed picture. Let's look at Bitcoin. So 21,241, that's a 0.8% change over 24 hours. TM Gray is still saying sell, so that's very bearish still. We also have the market basically saying it's up 3% on 7 days, so that's not too bad at all. 3% on 7 days, that's quite a good change. With regards to Ethereum, let's have a look. Ethereum, it's trading at the moment 1,221. So that's not too bad, 6% change over 24 hours. Again, very bearish, only 27%. Remember, we're looking for these TM grade percentage to go up, really like it above 70 or 80 for it to be extremely good. But at the moment, it's 27, so it's very bearish. And as you can see, the chart went bearish a while back, really, but it's still staying there. So you look at 1st of May this year, and stayed bearish. Nothing really good, but it has had a little pump there, so that's not too bad at all. So let's take a look at the news. Solend. Now, I don't know what these guys were doing. So just to give you a little background on this, Solend, which is built on Solana, they had somebody, a massive whale there with 108 million in loans. So the community of Solend looked at this and they put through a really bizarre proposal. They basically decided that they were going to take over his wallet, liquidate it over the OTC, over the counter, so that it doesn't really impact the price of the Solend token. It was just a very bizarre proposal to actually take over somebody's wallet like that. It did pass, then they came to some senators and decided not to freeze it. Well, it had 216 million in that account, so they managed to speak to the guy, and he's basically diversifying his loans from Solend, which really begs the question. It's supposed to be decentralized, but how can you talk to a decentralized protocol? One would have to say that the decentralization that does not exist in Solend. And so what they've decided to do is they've introduced another proposal, which they want to pass. And what this is going to do is actually limit the amount you could borrow using Solend. I think they want to limit it at about, let's have a look here. Yeah, they want to limit it at 50 million. And they're going to do this gradually. So the limit 120 million, then they're going to reduce it all by 500,000 per hour target of reduction until the limit is reduced to 50 million. But again, you know, it was very bizarre how they went about it, saying that they were just going to effectively freeze somebody's wallet. This has obviously caused an issue. Their token, the SLND, suffered slightly from that. But if you look at their token anyway, 200 days, it's down 81%. And this episode basically means that a lot of people are going to be looking at it and seeing, you know, trying to have a look at how the DAO and how their decentralization is going to work properly going forward. So obviously there's a lot of work to be done with that. Now Solend is actually built on Solana, so it hasn't really affected Solana, and you know, because Solana is up 8% in 24 hours, but still Solana is on the sell. 34% grade, it's not good at all. But look at this. This is Solana's trajectory. So as you can see there, I think that was in 20. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so from around November 2021, just one big trajectory downwards. The price has really been struggling, and obviously what happened with Solend is not going to be helpful towards it. But the price is actually within the last 24 hours, you know, gone up 8%. Within the last 7 days, 34%, which is not too bad. But year to date, 32%. So it's not too bad year to date. But as you can see, biggest issue there is 200 days, down 78%. And the chart essentially shows you exactly what's gone on there. Really bad, really bad. But Solend is just, I mean, thing about Solana, the project, one of its biggest problems is they put the chain out. They've said it's a test chain, or it's a live chain but test, but the chain just keeps going down consistently. So that is a really big issue with Solana. It's just not stable enough. It's consistently going down, and the community are not happy about that, and that's reflected in its token price. Tether, they're a big issue of stable coins. They've decided to launch a stable coin pegged to the British pound, GBPT. So that should be launching soon. I do remember Binance did launch a British pound stable coin a while back, but that didn't really do too well. So we'll see what happens with Tether's stable coin, British pound based stable coin. As you can see there, USDT, which is the dollar stable coin, it's actually, well, at the moment doing quite well. It has a market cap of 67 billion. USDC coin, the circle based one, 56 billion. So that's catching up actually. It's been USDC has been catching up over the last few months. So the difference is now not that much. We're looking at around 11 billion difference. So I can see USDC catching up to Tether quite soon. Next, let's look at Celsius. Celsius, very disappointed with these guys. Very disappointed with them. They've been obviously trading customers' tokens on extremely risky protocols. Seem to have been caught out by the collapse of UST, and they are trying to survive. So they've been paying down some of their DAI, and they've paid down quite a few different projects or base positions to stop their liquidation. One interesting thing is their their Bitcoin position. So they took out a massive loan. They've had to put, well, not have to, but they did put down Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin as the collateral, WBTC. And this is the vault that you can see. So on this vault, they have basically the price of Bitcoin has to drop to $13,608. If that happens, then this will be liquidated. Now, as you can see, the collateral locked is quite a lot, $511 billion. So it's a lot of money sitting there. So a lot of people are looking at this, and hopefully Tether will be able to actually add more collateral if needed, so that it stops the liquidation. But if you have nearly $500 million worth of Bitcoin forced onto the market sale, that will definitely have an impact on the Bitcoin price. But more importantly, the community would probably lose some of their coins and so forth. But we do hope that won't happen, and we hope something can be worked out in order to save the community, because 1.7 million people, that's a lot of people. As you can see there, the Cell token, TM grade 78%, and it's saying buy. The reason it's doing well at the moment is because there is a short squeeze going on. There's not a lot of Cell tokens out there because they're all locked up in the Tether application. Sorry, not Tether, into the Celsius application. Therefore, the amount of Cell available to trade publicly has been reduced, and so they're pushing here. The community is pushing a short squeeze, and that's basically pulling up the Cell token value. But over the long term, as you can see, so this chart that I'm charting here, it's from the 4th of June, so beginning of the month. So you can see from the 4th of June, it's gone from nearly $8. Well, 4th of June last year, but $8, and it's now 26th of June this year, and it's down to just $1.05 really. So as you can see, it has taken a really big battering over the whole year anyway. But the main battering, that's when they decided to freeze people's account, as you can see here, and you had this massive sell-off, and it was going down, but this short squeeze coming up as the community doing that, as I explained earlier, which basically means that 75%, 7-day, 14-day, 167. So you're talking about nearly doubling your money if you bought it within the last 14 days. But at the moment, I'd say the Cell token is extremely risky. The app is still frozen. People still can't get their money out. There's all sorts of rumors. Until this situation is resolved, I'm not too bullish on the Cell token. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is really interesting. Some news that came up, very interesting. And Uniswap, as we've mentioned before, they bought Genie, which is a marketplace aggregator, and they're going to integrate this into the Uniswap protocol, so that the Uniswap protocol can offer NFTs. That's brilliant news for Uniswap users. It's brilliant news for NFT users. What's really interesting is the Genie customers or community, those who were using it before the announcement of the sale of Genie to Uniswap Labs, they're going to be getting airdropped a stablecoin, USDC. So some of the money that's being used to actually purchase the Genie marketplace NFT marketplace aggregator, they're also going to go ahead and pass some of that money down to the users. They're rewarding the users, which is actually extremely good. It goes down to that philosophy. The users actually create the value, and therefore, if it, like in this case, it's been sold off, rather than in most cases where users are just basically told, well, you're left by yourself, they're actually going to give users some USDC, some money, some stable coins. How much each person gets, they haven't actually given any information, but I'm sure the users will be extremely happy when they do actually receive that reward. That's something that's come out and is a really positive. The Uniswap token, Uni, as we mentioned, is a token that over the years we think is going to be bullish. It's neutral at the moment, $5.45 each. It's up over 14 days, 13%. Over the last 7 days, it's 38%, which is good, considering we're in a bear market. Token Metrics, the AI-driven crypto research platform which turns data into actionable investment insights to help you beat the market. As you can see, we use Token Metrics, or I use Token Metrics as well, and I find it extremely useful. If you'd like, at the moment, they have a free trial for a limited time offer. You can click the link. We've got a link in the description. Click that link. You have your free trial, and you will also have a discount of up to 40% at the moment they're running. Now, these discounts will vary from time to time, but if you click the link, it will be able to tell you exactly how much you're going to get in terms of a discount, and it will be much better than somebody who doesn't have a link. So we've got a referral link there with our partnership with Token Metrics. So yeah, we invite you to try it. It is a really good platform. LooksRare. Now this is very interesting. Came across a few details I would like to let you guys know. So LooksRare, it's an NFT platform. So you go there and you trade your NFTs. You either buy your NFTs or you sell your NFTs. The main interesting thing, as you can see, is some data we managed to get. If you look at the volume, OpenSea is number 1 with 30 billion. LooksRare is number 2 with 23 billion. So the difference isn't that much. But the real big difference, look at number 3, 4, and 5. The volume drops off. CryptoPunks is only a 2 billion volume. Rarible, it's less than 300 million, not even a billion. So with this information in hand, you'd have really to think about how does LooksRare work. We then decided to have a look around, and they've got this great sort of infographics, and it just basically shows you how somebody who makes a sale on OpenSea, the difference between them and someone who makes a sale on LooksRare. So on here, the buyer on OpenSea, they would get their NFT. On this case, approximately 86 ETH or $289,000. So that's what the seller would get. They'll get the 86 ETH and the $289. The buyer would obviously get their NFT, and that's the end of it. That's OpenSea. Now, if you look at LooksRare, which is their comparison, they say that the seller would get $294,000, which is slightly more, but the difference is not that much. Now, the reason that would be is because they'll get the 86 ETH, which is pretty much the same as you would on OpenSea, but you'd also get 923 Looks token, because when you sell something on sell an NFT on LooksRare, you not only get your payment, which is the ETH, you'd also get a reward in Looks token. Additionally, the buyer would get their NFT, so they'll be happy, but they would also get the 923 Looks token, so which is approximately $3,500. So the buyer would get NFT plus Looks token. The seller would obviously get their ETH and also Looks token. So it's a really interesting difference there. So meaning that the LooksRare trader and both the traders, both the buyer and the seller, they'll both end up with more in their pocket. Very interesting. And if you do want to have a look at LooksRare, that's their website, looksrare.org. You can go there, maybe see if you can make a small purchase, or just look at what's going on. You can also go to the OpenSea site, and you can then look at the difference between the both and make your own decision. But we think LooksRare is very, very undervalued. The token, it's trading at just 40 cents, which is extremely, extremely low. So, and we've done this chart here. Well, looking at the chart, the all-time high was around $7.76 or 7.08, around that, and it has dropped to 40 cents. So long term, we are very bullish with regards to this. Definitely very bullish. It's not this is not investment advice, but it's one of those tokens we're looking at seriously as undervalued, and it's one that we think will be here over the longer period of time. Now, this is really interesting. PlanB. PlanB is back. So he's made a very, very slight comment. Obviously, this is probably due to Vitalik talking down his PlanB stock to flow model, which we spoke about in the previous episode. But he tweeted saying, "Seems I kicked the hornet's nest with this tweet." Basically, kicking is he's just basically trying to say something about Vitalik there. But that's not the interesting thing. The interesting thing here is what he says. It says 1 BTC, in other words, 1 Bitcoin is equals to 18 ETH. Just like 5 years ago in April 2017. We thought, well, that's interesting. Let's check it. So went through here to Uniswap, BTC, WBTC. So click there, 1 BTC. And let's see how much ETH that will give us. 17.3 at the moment, which is roughly 18, I'd say. So I'd say it's pretty right. So if you actually, the difference between BTC and ETH over the last 5 years, even though it's actually gone up and down, you still have a situation where 1 BTC is equals to roughly 18 ETH, which is an extremely interesting. Prices might have changed, but the difference in the two hasn't. dYdX. This is a perpetual, basically it's a decentralized exchange for futures, and they're basically bringing up a version 4 chain. This is very interesting because they're going to build it on Cosmos. Cosmos is extremely fast. That's what they were saying, and so they're saying it's going to be a better user experience. A lot of Twitter users have been extremely excited about this and do believe it is going to be a better user experience. Order book matching, fully decentralized, which is basically extremely good for dYdX. As you can see, there was a slight pump in the price on that news, but still the TM grade is low, saying sell, but that's because we're in a bear market. But look at the price. Over the, it's not done well over, from September 29 September 2021, it was trading at around $28. Okay, around that 27. Give it 27, 28, and it's come all the way down to $1.43, or $1.05 now, but can this go back up? I reckon this is one that as they get more and more adoption, it will definitely go up. It's one of those interesting, futures platforms, but their problem at the moment, it's the number of adoption, the level of adoption they've got, that's causing them problems. So let's look at Invictus Capital. So this Invictus, these guys really, because they are all guys. There was a report that was put out recently. So they have suspended redemptions. In other words, customers can't get their money out. Similar story has been going out. I mean, all these centralized entities have been suspending redemptions, while the decentralized entities have been working extremely well. Apparently they're going to attempt to reorganize. So what have they done? They basically, 2 of their funds have gone bust. IBA and ISG. They've gone bust. They've gone into liquidation. They blame the UST, the Lunar UST collapse. They also have a massive exposure on their C10 and C20 funds to Celsius network. Now, this is what they say. They say they have, big exposure to, nobody knows how much because they didn't give any figures. They just say they have big exposure on C10 and C20 funds to Celsius network. So to make it even worse, they've also said that in order for people to be able to take their money out, you have to do KYC by November. So if you're a C10 or C20 customer and you probably wanted to liquidate, or I'm not sure what they meant, but they said you have to do KYC, know your customer by November. So meaning that they will not give you or give their customers back their tokens if they can't do, or for some reason don't do the KYC, which is extremely extremely bad, because they should have done these things earlier when they, when they're actually setting up their funds. They should say, okay, do your KYC to be part of the fund, not set up the fund, take the money, and then say do KYC to take your money out. Extremely sad, really, extremely sad. But yeah, 2 of their funds are bust. The other 2 seem to be in trouble. They're trying to reorganize. Let's hope they do manage to reorganize so that customers do get their money back. A little bit of history about them. They actually started by doing an ICO. This was in 2017. They did the C20 ICO, which was they say it was the world's first tokenized cryptocurrency index fund. The ICO was actually quite successful. They raised 38 million. So that's what they've been managing, and obviously it's gone up and down because the value of the tokens would have increased, especially the value of Bitcoin and the value of Ethereum would have increased extremely between 2017 and today. So there's a lot of money there at stake. They then did a second ICO, and this was for their Invictus Hyperion fund. But they have not said anything about this second fund, or this second ICO fund. I suppose this is what they were talking about with their KYC. Maybe it's something to do with this fund. Very unclear. When I read the statement, it was extremely, just very, very low on information. So they did this in 2018. So they raised another 11, just under 12 million. So they have raised a lot of money. They did it, during really good times, because the value of the tokens, especially Ethereum and Bitcoin, have gone up. They have put out reports saying, the Invictus Hyperion fund is doing extremely well. But the latest news that has come out with this restructuring and everything is very vague, so we really don't know what's going on. So that's something that you would need to look out for with this Invictus Hyperion. Well, basically Invictus Capital. They might go under, they might stay, they might be bought over. It's very hard to see, to know what's going on. Finally, a little quote from Satoshi Nakamoto. Banks must be trusted to hold our money and transfer it electronically, but they lend it out in waves of credit bubbles with barely a fraction in reserve. Let that just sink in. That's why it's really important to keep your keys. If it's not your keys, it's not your money, or it's not your tokens. So with that in mind, I hope you have a good day, and we'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care. And oh yeah, finally, if you like this, share it and like it. Hit the subscribe button as well. And you can also follow me on Twitter. As you can see, my handle is there. It's at Kenneth Omoya. And so you can follow me on Twitter, and please also hit the subscribe button. Thank you.